Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 0.76% to 38,606. Ethereum up 2.12% to 2863. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, and you can always reach out and directly message me on Twitter as well. Crypto technical analysts are professionals who scientifically track investor attention. Investor attention is measured by price, which is reality, not future promises. What crypto technical analysts do, they mark up their charts with a specifically designed upgrade to candlestick pattern analysis, which is called CTKS method, and then they look at outside markers, checking world events, collecting probabilities. What we find is the crypto market is just a small market. It's actually influenced by other markets. Then we look into the crypto space, knowing opportunities reset daily, finding the market's focus, and enhancing our pattern recognition before we buy or sell. And we know that all investors are actually traders anytime they buy or sell. So the key is to do it really, really well. But without a professional mindset, an unemotional mindset, without self-mastery, wealth disappears. It's easy for people to get caught up in the emotional mayhem that is the market, especially the crypto market. But if you get caught up by emotion, your profits will be 10% of what they could be. When we have ourselves in order, when we have our emotions under control, we then go into the trigger section, which is all about buying and selling. It's important to understand that each step through foundations and trend and timing and real wealth and trigger leads into the right methodologies to buy and sell in crypto. It's really important to go slow, to go fast. A lot of people tend to jump around all over the place. If you're doing that, you will fail. You need to take it easy. You need to go slow to go fast. A lot of people, when they're new to the crypto market, feel that crypto is independent of the stock market and the bond market. It is not. It is a really, really tiny market, and it's at the mercy of the larger markets. But we're really, really early in terms of adoption of Bitcoin and crypto. We literally have decades and decades to run this thing out, and we're just not even at the takeoff point in our adoption cycle. It's a really exciting time. Rule 225: Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. Yesterday, I was explaining how the VIX, how the fear gauge of the stock market actually interacts with prices. If we see a spike up in the VIX, the NASDAQ 100 will come down, as do all the other indices. But what did we see here? We had a bit of a heightened breakout, and then it came back. This is good. The fact that it's actually coming down now is quite a good thing. There is a lot of fear inside the market at the moment, and we can see that with the put-call ratio. We see a lot of people putting on puts at the moment. This is a sort of a counterintuitive indicator. The more puts that are put on, the more bearish market sentiment is, and the more likely it is to turn around. We can see the NASDAQ 100 is still under resistance. And why are we looking at this? Why don't we just go to our beloved altcoins? Because Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. And also, your beloved alt cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity. So it's all tied together. We can see a few interesting things here. Bond prices continue to sell down. And of course, the inverse of bond prices are bond yields. They continue to elevate. This is getting overstretched in both directions. We can see gold selling off as well, but it's coming back to a support line, pretty much at the price that it is now. We would expect some kind of technical bounce around here. And we can see the US dollar currency index is starting to sell down. There's a lot of turmoil in Europe and throughout Russia because of the oil situation in Europe. And what we can see here is oil is starting to try to make a positive momentum up. We just have to keep our eye on this because we're at levels of resistance. But it's just important to know when the price of oil goes up, it impacts inflation. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve is expected to increase interest rates by 50 basis points. And what do we see with the 10-year and the 5-year break-even inflation rate? They're coming down at the moment. And we can see the Nasdaq has been selling off. But always remember, price is always moving in a wave. The other thing to keep in mind, the Nasdaq has sold off 24.2%. Technically, when the market indices retrace or go down by more than 20%, they say the market is in a bear market. One of the interesting things that you may like to keep in mind is the concept of price moving in a wave. We're down 24.2%, but if we take it back up to this retracement, we're only down 9%. If we find that we go through and do a retracement, for example, up to this resistance level, we'll only be down 14%. Be really, really careful how people define bear markets. They can define it as, oh, we're down 20%. Oh, no, we're only down 9%. You get the idea. The concept is that the price has come down into a very solid area of support. There'll be a lot of buyers down here. So how is Bitcoin going? Bitcoin is currently trading at 38,591. Just as we've seen, the Nasdaq 100 has a lot of support below it. Actually, we see that Bitcoin has a lot of support between this 37,164 and 32,332. That means that there's a lot of buyers that will step into the market here to grab Bitcoin. Could it go lower than 32,332? Absolutely, it could. What you have to understand and always keep in mind, there is no certainty inside financial markets. That's why we must make in advance probabilistic choices. What will we do if price goes in our favor, goes against us, or goes flat? You need to have the answer to those questions every day you're in the market. You need to know what you're doing. Looking at the crypto fear and greed index, which is just like the VIX for the stock market, we can see that Bitcoin and the entire crypto market has been under fear. And this, as a professional, is what we look for. We love buying extreme fear. We BORSOG, which is buy on red, sell on green. That's rule 621. Let's dive a little bit more deeply into Bitcoin. We can see Bitcoin currently trading at 38,642, and it's moving around quite a lot. When we did the video yesterday, what we talked about was there was a lot of signs, a lot of clues in the market that we were actually going to go up. The price was supported. And what did we see? We actually overcame this tight resistance line. We came up to a level of resistance at 39,084, and then we dropped down to another level of support at 38,381, and we've been kind of oscillating around there. But this is actually incredibly positive. If we saw the prices were coming down into E, we might get some sort of long tail capitulation like this. We're not seeing this at the moment. As a community, we actually live for long tail rejections like this. We love catching falling knives. We're basically a fearless community. While other influencers are out there spreading fear and saying people should be emotional about the market, we do exactly the opposite. Say we should be unemotional about the market and embrace fear. That's where the profit is. A lot of people truly believe we'd have an absolute cataclysmic sell-off coming into E or possibly below that. This is why I always say there's no certainty in financial markets. As soon as people align themselves to it must go down or it must go up, smart money positions itself in the inverse direction. That's why it's so important to look through what the markets are doing and collect probabilities. How is the tennis match going between the longs? Oh, look at the longs. They're getting really excited. And have a look at the shorts. The shorts are just stepping back for the time being. There's actually a symbiotic relationship between the longs who heat the market up and the shorts who cool the market down. When we look at liquidations over the past 24 hours, we can see 133.67 million in liquidations across 49,793 positions. And what we can see here in the past 24 hours, about 54% of liquidations were long. In the past 12 hours, 57% were long. What about the past 4 hours, 86% short. You can see how it turns around. This is why going short or going long is really dangerous unless you absolutely know what you're doing, which means zone 3 and zone 4. What about the past hour? Oh, back to 56%. This is the craziness of the crypto market. And we can see that across the weekend, we had quite light trading. When we look at futures open interest, there's quite a relationship between Bitcoin futures open interest and the price. What are we seeing here? We're seeing that upward momentum in futures open interest is continuing, and we've been seeing this for quite a while now. That's a good clue that the market is actually healthy underneath the hood, inside the engine. But a lot of people would say the crypto market is showing cracks. When you do your detective work, you can see there are a lot of points of strength inside crypto. Let's drill back into Bitcoin. Over the next 24 hours, where do you see Bitcoin going to? Do you think it's going to remain just sort of range bound in B? Do you think it's going to come up to A or go down to C? Now, what of these particular dividers? Zone A is above the support level of 39,759. B is between that support level, 39,759, and 37,725. And C is below, effectively below, 37,725. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Now, what do you see when you actually look at this chart? I'm just going to move it around a bit so we get a better view. Zooming in to the current price action, what I see is this. We're starting to form a cradle of support. What happened was that when Bitcoin tried to attack the resistance line around 38,441, it got rejected, and then it came back, formed a higher low, and then went on a bit of a rampage up to 39,084, and then was pushed back, but it was caught by 38,381, and it didn't come down to these particular levels. That's a bit of positive air there, and it's a cradle. These are two really, really good things. I talk a lot about this inside the masterclass, but the concept is this is looking very positive for price. Now, where could we go from here? We can see that there's a level of resistance up here, and there's a few more resistance levels underneath there as well. We have to get first and foremost through 39,084, and then we make our way up to 39,759. Of course, we can continue to consolidate at that 38,381 level, or even push down to 37,725. One thing to always bear in mind, smart money loves to technically violate technical patterns, and this is really important in the crypto market. That's why I developed a specific upgrade to traditional technical analysis, which is used in the stock market and Forex. It's called the CTKS method, or the KS method for short. What the CTKS method does is it captures exponential price action, and exponential is very strange when compared to normal price action. Exponential price action does this. It explodes and then implodes. These consolidations are very short-lived, and it will explode and implode again, with price always moving in waves. That's why we have to use a different methodology in the crypto market. You can see lines drawn on a chart, but they're done with a completely different perspective than those used in the stock market or Forex. Looking through about the top 100 cryptos, what we can see is TRX is in front, followed by GMT, RNDR, XEM, Cell, Litecoin, BNB, and then Bitcoin. And we also notice it's like looking at a geological study. When we see Bitcoin come down, which is the white line here, the whole crypto market will come down with it. That's why I'm talking about gravity. It's really important to know no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. And what do we see here? Tron starting to make its way up. Maybe GMT will make its way up too. We can see Ape here in the yellow. Ape was doing really, really well. It was going absolutely bananas. But as we always say, sharp angles reverse or reflect. And what we need to do is to be very wary when things get too overextended in terms of gravitational bias. They will come down hard. And we can see that Ape here on the 8 hour, Ape came down 48.53%. I think Ape could be pretty interesting to get back into, but as always, you don't go all in and more at one level. That's just asking for you to try to pick a bottom. You want to get away from that method of thinking. Also, you want to always understand that you can always buy lower. So you place levels, your buy orders at levels of support below the current price. And you can do 10-5-10 levels, which are way below the current price, where you would say that would never get filled. For example, when you're looking at price action like this, you could say to yourself, wow, this thing is going to the moon. It's going all up. It's never going to stop. Look at this. It's fantastic. Wow, I'm all in. And that's exactly what they do. Institutional and smart money investors attract you by higher prices. And then what do? They sell. And what comes next? They buy again, reaccumulate, and try to push the price up. They're always trying to put retail investors and traders on the wrong side of the percentage and themselves on the right side. It's not a competitive thing. It's just a knowledge thing. When you know better, you can do better. But please bear in mind, if you are on the right side of the percentage, what does that actually mean? For example, if Ape was to just come back and recover that high, we're down 48.53% to that low. What is the recovery? Is it 48.53%? No, it's actually 94.24%. See, what smart money does, it puts the percentage in their favor. They always buy at levels down. They don't want you to buy the falling knife because that's what they're doing. And that's why we are fearless as a community. We understand smart money rules. And Ape is very, very strong. What we actually see, even if you bought around here and you actually struck some kind of level, for example, at this, because it's fairly considerable resistance at this stage, it could come up, bounce, and come back. That's still a 70%. But don't FOMO. Don't go all in and more. That's not what it's about. Smart money never does things like that. Smart money really respects money and they respect percentages. Smart money always ignores the price. Retail, when they get into the crypto market, they go for the cheapest absolute thing that they can find, thinking it's going to somehow magically turn into millions and millions of dollars. And sometimes it does. Absolutely. That does happen. But it's very, very rare. What institutional smart money traders and investors do is they just simply get on the right side of the percentage. You can see it's come down 48.53%. Even a rally back to a resistance level here is a 70% increase. But beware, smart money will want to push the price down further because they want a better return. Now, what are you saying, Ken? What does that mean? For example, if the smart money, the institutions, could push the price of Ape down 57.59%, and that's just a typical day in the week in crypto, what it would come up to as a resistance level is not 70% now, it's over 105%, and recovery is 135%. Please bear this in mind. Always put yourself on the right side of the percentage and don't FOMO. But you say, Ken, what if I miss out? What if I don't get in? Doesn't matter. Just let it go. It's not important. We are not emotional. We don't put our emotions into our investments. And we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So the key is to buy and sell correctly and effectively. Looking at the top cryptos, we can see Bitcoin still under its resistance level, but we know there's massive amounts of support below this price. What you'll find is many retail influencers really want to freak you out. They want you to scream, not sleep at night, because that's good for their ad revenue. You don't want to get into an emotional cycle. You want to be very detached from the market. Now, what are we actually doing in this analysis? We're actually enhancing pattern recognition. We're seeing that this blue line is Bitcoin's gravity. This is Ethereum. Notice how Ethereum is following Bitcoin's gravity. These two are massive, massive projects in the crypto space. They have the vast majority of value and they're following each other. It's really, really important to understand this. So what's Binance Coin doing? It's following Bitcoin's gravity. What about XRP? Following Bitcoin's gravity, but it had a huge sell-off. When you have huge sell-offs, you have huge spikes down, but sharp angles reflect. You can have huge spikes up. What about ADA, Cardano? ADA has come back to a support level, but technically it's only following Bitcoin's price action. So please bear that in mind. When we look at Solana, Solana again is following Bitcoin's gravity. What about Luna? Luna is following Bitcoin's gravity, but showing more strength. This is great. These are the projects you want to get involved with. When they have strength to the upside, that's what you want. When they have strength to the downside, they can take all your money. It's a very ugly place to be. And please do not leverage trade. It will wreck your account. And when we look at AVAX, AVAX is coming back to a level of support. It had stronger support through here. But what happened to AVAX? Bitcoin happened to AVAX. That's why we must look at Bitcoin. Always remember, life resets daily. As a community, we focus on maintaining a positive excellence life trend and having inner peace and outer peace. Why do I go on about inner peace and outer peace? Ken, we're in the crypto market to make money, money, money. We just want to retire. We want to stop our crappy jobs and just live on the beach. Ouch. That's not what you want to do. You always want to contribute positively to society. And the first thing and the most important thing is to stop conflict within yourself and then outside yourself. Why? Why is this important? Why do I go on like a pork chop about this all the time? That's an Aussie slang. Why I talk about this? Inner peace and outer peace destroy your focus. You give your energy and power to other people when you lack inner peace and outer peace. When people are engaged in constant conflict, that's just showing they do not have inner peace. And that's a very disempowered state of life. It's very hard to be happy when you have a lack of inner and outer peace. And that unhappiness flows through to your trading. Professionals are calm. They're at peace. When people just enter the crypto market, they're not really quite sure on what's going on. So they think that if they have money, they can just put it on anything and the market should just reward them because, hey, they worked hard for that money. The market should just pay them. It doesn't work that way, and it never works that way. That's like turning up to work and saying, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm here, pay me. The truth is, the more you know, the more promotions you will get. The harder you work, the more people will respect you. And that's exactly the same inside the market. So please keep this in mind. It's really important to focus on peace, not for other people, but for you. So therefore, forgiveness is critical. So many times we go through life hurt by a wide variety of things, and we feel that we're out of peace and we need to compete against other people to win. After all, we can only win if they lose, correct? No, it's not correct, and it's never been correct. But what happens is society pushes this narrative. For you to get ahead, you must stomp down on other people. That's just daft. What actually happens when you attack other people? They will retaliate. It's a never-ending cycle of conflict. And it will come out in your trading and investing. If you're emotional, you will lose money, unfortunately. You have to get a professional mindset that will make you money. It's literally a license to print money, but it's hard to come by. I talk about chaos zone analysis a lot. Zones 1 and 2 are the loss of money rule zones. People are unconsciously applying rules that make them lose money. They want certainty, which creates terror. They want entitlement. They want a participation award. Hey, I got a lot of money. I put it in the market. Well, it's a lot of money to me. And I put it in the market and I lost. That's so unfair. And then they get really, really angry. It's all about knowledge. If you don't learn, you can't win in these markets. So you have to take it seriously. There's no easy path to the top. And if it was easy, you wouldn't enjoy it anyway. You'd just say, oh, this is too easy. I don't respect it. So that's why I'm always focusing everybody's attention into Zone 3 and Zone 4, especially Zone 4, where there are win-win scenarios, not competitive scenarios. Competition always comes from a place of scarcity. If you're thinking scarce, if you're thinking you only win if somebody else loses, you're going to lose whatever you make sooner or later. You don't want to think that way. And even rich thinking, people showing off, standing in front of a Maserati or a BMW or something with the latest watch, for example, or the latest fashions, that's not the way to live. That's a form of competition. You're basically saying, I am worthy. Look at all the stuff I bought. You're worthy already. You don't need that stuff. I've got a picture of Jesse Livermore here, just to always remind people. Jesse Livermore, the creator of day trading, one stage, one of the richest people on the planet, committed suicide because he didn't feel worthy. This is Zone 3 behavior. Zone 4 behavior, Jesse Livermore would have lived. He wouldn't have taken his own life. I think this is so important for people to understand. Getting into Zone 4 is the key. This is what our community is about. And that's where you work really hard and you contribute positively. You've got a positive excellence life trend, but you really make a difference in your life and other people's lives. And you don't take things, you contribute, you don't compete. Competition is really, really destructive, incredibly destructive. I'm going to actually do a coffee club video on this. It's so important. There's a lot of hidden rules that people just don't understand. And I think it just takes decades and decades and decades to understand these things, because what we're taught is basically wrong. It works in the favor of people that have money, but not in our favor. I'd like to thank the very kind and generous community members who've reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. I'm going to do a new post. Every month I put a new video together that shows you some hidden aspect, that gives you something that I have not spoken about in any of the public channels. My focus is I always want to give you some kind of edge, how to live a happier and wealthier life, focusing on real wealth. I'd like to thank Josh. Hi Ken, wanted to wish you good health and give thanks for sharing your knowledge. Thank you. Thank you very much, Josh. And Jay, hi Ken, congrats on reaching and surpassing your 500th episode. Woohoo! I'm honored to be a member of this fantastic community, and I feel like it is doing a BORSOG in to help my life at a time when I have really needed it. That's so beautiful, Jay. I'm so glad to have met you. Likewise, my friend. Here's to 500 more, my friend Jay. Absolutely. And JB. Ken, thank you for all you do. And Prabhu, thanks Ken for these extra videos. They are life affirming. And Albert, hello Ken. Your work is a true masterpiece. Congratulations, all the best. Thank you, my friends. Very nice. Vicente, I have the impression that you have recovered. This is excellent news. Thank you for your tireless effort for our community. Happy Anzac Day, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vicente. And Sea Turtle, thank you. And Eula, finding your channel has been a blessing since. Love your understanding of the complex system of financial markets and life in general. Thank you, Eula. And Eula, what a name. Eula in mathematics is very, very big. Vicente, he said, it's very comforting to see that you are recovering and giving your all for our community. Personally, I thank you for the knowledge that you have passed on to me. Although we never finish learning, every day there is a new lesson to learn that motivates me so much with the first day in our exciting crypto universe. Wow, thanks Vicente. And to someone, that's really nice. Thank you for sharing your high value content. It's really helped me a lot. Cheers. Thank you, my friend. And thank you also to June. Happy May, Ken. Your YouTube channel is going on 1 year old. Yes, wow, it is. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here too, June, and all of our beautiful community. It's just an honor to know you all. Thank you for offering support and encouragement, because that is what the world needs. You have brought together such a lovely community. Through your kindness, you have made so many friends who will always be there for you. Oh, how beautiful. And likewise, I'm always there for you and the community as well. I count myself fortunate enough to be one of those friends. Wow, you are. Much love to you always. Much love to you too, June. And of course, much love to all of our community. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, a very, very big welcome. And you'll find our community to be such incredible people. Let's quickly look through the community favorites. We can see Near. Near is doing very nicely. Look at that beautiful upward pattern. And it's continuing to follow Bitcoin's gravity, but it's over accentuating the upside and not so much to the downside. That's why we can see things that look to be inverting, but they're not actually. If you go micro, you'll see some really interesting behavior. Have a look at Matic. This is a very climactic sales spike. I love these spikes. I love getting involved with them. They're terrific. Icon, also coming back to a level of support, looking quite nice. VRA. VRA is a really strong project, and we know all of the cryptos have been hit very, very dramatically. But what do we notice yesterday? Bitcoin didn't sell off. If people were expecting Bitcoin to absolutely plummet, and I mean plummet, and it didn't do that. It kind of just went down a little bit, but it's on a long-term uptrend. So what we can actually see, these alts should turn around. As soon as Bitcoin makes a move upwards, you're going to get an over-exaggeration in repair in these cryptos. So just be aware of that. We can see Rose doing that deep dive off the cliff. Oh, this is crypto. This is what cryptos do. But again, sharp angles reflect. When we get dives down like this, for example, you got a dive like this, people say, oh, it's all over. And then all of a sudden it goes up, and then it goes down, and it goes up. Always remember, price is always moving in a wave. Rune, doing really nicely. It's come down, but the whole market has come down. What happened to Rune? Bitcoin happened to Rune. What happened to Rose? Bitcoin happened to Rose. What happened to Icon? Bitcoin happened to Icon. What happened to Veracity? Please let me know in the comments. Okay, so we can see IOTA just selling down, and IOTEX just selling down as well. But we know when Bitcoin gets its act together, we're going to see exponential price action. That's not linear price action. Please let me know what you see is the difference between exponential price action and linear price action. If you don't understand this, this is one of the key building blocks of your knowledge in the crypto space. And you'll find our community is just beautiful. They're so supportive. They want to help everyone. And if you're new to commenting on YouTube, please reach out and just say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Please let me know in the comments as well. What is the crypto you like the most? It doesn't have to be on these lists. Just let me know what you like the most, and I'll see what I can do for you. I hope you've enjoyed the content. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, and you can always directly message me on Twitter as well. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and the worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.